Hi, I'm Case Lowe, co-host of the Open the Voice Gate podcast. The one question I'm constantly asked when it comes to Dragon Gate is, how do I get into the promotion? Well, stop asking and start listening to the Open the Voice Gate podcast, released every Wednesday on the Voices of Wrestling podcasting network. For exclusive news and show reviews, look no further than the leader in Dragon Gate coverage, Open the Voice Gate.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling podcasting network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Here we go! Kiss me like a love song. So I'm coming. Whoa, whoa, kimiへ片思い涙の失恋も Give me fire, give me that what I desire.
You're listening to the Emerald FlowShow on the Voices of Wrestling podcast network.
Welcome to episode 51 of the Emerald FlowShow. We're a podcast on the Voices of Wrestling podcast network. You can follow us on X at Emerald FlowShow. And if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review, and you can find us on all major podcast apps. I'm Gerard here with Paul. Paul, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Gerard. Also happy to have you back as well. I just would like to thank Jeff again to jumping on last time and going on a bunch of tangents with me as well, which I think we derailed that one a bit too much into New Japan a couple of times.
I love tangents, so that's great. And yes, thank you very much, Jeff. Paul, is the reality of your Japan trip dawning on you as more and more things are coming together?
It is actually. I've got a bunch of, I think really like the most important tickets are actually kind of bought already or secured already. Like I have 4th row tickets for the Yoyogi show from All Japan. I have tickets for the 1-2 Ariake show for Noah.
What kind of tickets did you buy?
I did go for like bottom arena B. Was it arena B or arena A? I don't remember. I think arena A is what they call it. But it's on the floor in Ariake after Keno 1. After Keno 1, I bought those because otherwise I would have been fine with like being in the upper floor as well. I have my Wrestle Kingdom tickets, and I have a confirmation because I'm buying them together with, I'm going together with John Carroll. And so they had the like fan club application. So I'm confirmed for royal seats for New Year's Dash. So
wow.
Yeah. I'm curious like how far up front that actually is going to be. So yeah, no, definitely excited for all of that. And then obviously there's still like a bunch of minor shows as well. And actually, literally, just before I joined this call, I was like, okay, I actually need to like start buying like the Shinkansen tickets now as well.
Right. What about All Japan on the 2nd and 3rd?
I am going to go to those as well, but I'm just gonna risk that they're not gonna sell out, which we'll see. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to measure. I probably have to keep an eye on kind of how tickets are selling. Like that's one of like, for example, for Yoyogi, I actually kind of was thinking of just kind of risking it as well to not buy in advance and just buy a day off or when I'm in Japan. But I was just looking at how quickly tickets are flying off the shelf for that. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to risk missing that one. Yeah, and I probably have to do the same for the Korakuen shows. I might have to like buy those in advance as well if tickets sell fast for those. But even okay, it'll be really sad if I miss those. But I will definitely get a All Japan Korakuen on this trip because I'm not leaving until the 15th.
Oh wow!
And there's one on the 14th as well.
Right.
So I'm going to that one. And there's a Noah Korakuen the day before that. So it's basically gonna spend a lot of time in Korakuen.
That's exciting. So we have a lot to talk about. A lot of things have been happening in Japan, but we'll start off with Noah and their Monday Magic episode 3 on November 13th from Shinjuku Face as usual. I have to say, I'm really enjoying these shows, and they're the best part of Noah right now.
Yeah. No, I fully agree. Like, you're not gonna get any like match of the year contender, but all of these are like just really like fun and like it's just like a really nice breezy time, right? You just kind of sit down and they're like 2.5 hours, I think. I don't remember off the top of my head.
It's like 2 hours.
Yeah, so you just watch them and they're like the crowd is really, I think it really helps if the crowd is really hot. And everyone also seems kind of like relaxed in a way, right? Like everyone is kind of fine with just kind of not taking time off, but like everyone just seems a bit more at ease, I think is a better way of describing it.
Yeah, definitely. And to open the show, there was an exhibition match with Manabu Soya and Daisuke Nakamura. Went to a draw with Keno and Alka Sasaki, who's an MMA fighter, in 10 minutes. I mean, this was fine, I think, but I will say I think Sasaki showed some potential, and at this point, I think Noah should just try to use him.
I mean, yeah, how old is he? He didn't look like a spring chicken.
He's like 30, or maybe could be older.
I mean, MMA also had the tendency to kind of age you prematurely as well.
Yeah, definitely on that. But I mean, he likes pro wrestling. They need the attention. Oh, he's 34.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's right around the time when like the Saito started or like the Bodyguard. So I mean, it's no, wait, actually, no. When did what's his face? Oh God, why am I blanking on his name right now? When did Segura start?
He was 30.
Okay, so he was 30. I mean, you know, like 34, like I think it's right around the time where like if you want to do it, now is the time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no one needs something.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Not.
No, I mean it's something that I kind of debated with Jeff as well. Is like it is curious that they're like not gonna do a like title defense for 2 months, basically until like the 2nd of January show.
Yeah,
like so much so they're actually gonna announce the card tomorrow for that.
Oh,
I don't know if you've seen that?
No,
Yeah, they're gonna.
See that.
Yeah, no, because we already have like the main event, right? And we already have the junior tag title match.
Right.
So like the freeway there. And then apparently they're gonna announce the rest of the card. Or I don't know if it's the entire card, but they're definitely gonna announce more stuff for it tomorrow.
Interesting.
So it's just really interesting when I was wondering that as well. Like they still have like the Yokohama Budokan show coming up. And like, I mean, okay, they have like the like old trainers match on there, but then otherwise I'm like, what is actually expected to draw on that? Because all of their titles are on like younger foreigners that aren't really super established as well, right? Like Keno is the only Japanese champion they have now.
Yeah.
So it is a very curious, like obviously it's kind of a calm period anyway, but still it is a very interesting decision that they've made here. Basically like punting on the entire rest of the year and then resetting on like the 2nd of January, I guess is their plan.
Yeah. That's probably not the worst idea at this point.
Yeah, fair enough. Which, to be fair, just kind of adds more fuel to my conspiracy theory that Jake was like brought in as like a patsy. Because they knew business was going to go down after Muto leaves anyway, right? So you might as well just put it on Jake, who you already kind of know is a failure, as a draw, and then you can just blame him for all your votes and then hope that works and that people come back when you reset. I don't know. It's a weird strategy, but let's see if it works for them.
And then next up was the GHC National Title #1 Contendership Rumble. Hajime Ohara won in 1755 when he eliminated Saxon Huxley, and they did the thing where Huxley and Shuhei Taniguchi were like on the ring apron fighting, and he sort of snuck up and won. And also in the match were Kai Fujimura, Elhio Dr. Wagner Jr., Takashi Sugera, Great Mummy, Masaki Mochizuki.
Well, two great mummies,
Oh,
actually.
yeah, two great mummies. Sorry, yeah. So that gimmick is a Monday Magic thing now. Yeah, I mean, it was a perfectly fine little rumble. Ohara is a really baffling choice.
Yeah. As like first challenger. I mean, I guess it tells you at least that they're not gonna like at least that he's gonna get a defense, right?
Yeah.
Like they're not gonna take it off of him immediately, but it's still like all right. I mean, I guess that means it's open weight. Was it always open weight?
Well, there's been juniors that have challenged before.
Oh yeah, that's true actually. Yeah, that's true actually. He's not the first, but yeah, very weird decision to give it to Hajime Ohara. Like again, more fuel to the fire of like they're punting on the rest of the year. If this is what they're putting up as like the national title.
Yeah. And then
but I mean to be fair, but like what did you think about the two very different great mummies?
I don't know. I mean, it's just a running gag. I don't have any strong thoughts on it.
Okay, fair enough. No, but I just thought it was like very like it was kind of obvious when it was Kojima, but with these two, it was even more obvious who it was because they picked two people that have very distinctive ways of moving as well.
Why don't you be some shoot trash right now then?
I'm pretty sure they said that. Like, wait, did they not say it? Did they not say that one of them was Marufuji? Like, I'm pretty sure like the commentators were like, oh, that's Marufuji.
Oh, maybe they did.
And the other one was Murakami.
Well, yeah, Murakami obviously moves.
Yeah, very distinctly.
Especially these
I think it was obvious when he just walked out towards the ring. Everyone was like, "Oh, that's Murakami." Okay, whereas at least with Marufuji, it didn't become obvious until he like started like doing doing all of Marufuji's moves.
And next up was Hayata and the debuting Titus Alexander, who's on an excursion in Marvelous, and they defeated Shuichi Katoge and Teriyaki in 7 minutes and 18 seconds when Alexander pinned Katoge with the big ugly. Katoge is just a jobber now.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, just loses Harada, and then he's just like he hasn't done anything right since Harada retired. Like,
well, he challenged with Hiroki for the tag titles.
Well, yeah, which I also still think that might have been because who was it that got injured again there?
I can't remember. There's a lot of injuries.
But what I am happy to see is Titus Alexander.
Oh, he looked great.
Yeah, no, I mean it's not that I have seen a lot of him, but he's someone that has like a lot of people that are really into like American indies are like really, really high on him.
Yes.
So just a perfect guy, I think, to like add as well to like if you want to bring in random foreigners, I think this is the kind of random foreigner you should bring
for
in.
Sure. And I thought this was a really good match. Hayata didn't do anything, and Teriyaki's really I think Teriyaki's good too. I think Teriyaki's someone that's hanging around longer than Titus Alexander. And he is continuing to improve every time I see him.
Yes, no, for sure. I think he needs a lot more seasoning, whereas Titus Alexander is probably like he still needs a bit of work as well, but I don't think like from what I've seen here as well, he doesn't seem like someone that is that far away from getting signed by like a bigger American
I would
promotion.
assume that AEW is going to swoop him up in like a year at least, but within a year.
Yeah. Whereas Teriyaki, I think, can like stick around for a couple of years.
Yeah,
because he also needs to bulk up as well. Like he has a good frame, but he's still like still has that like thin rail frame. So I think like staying in Japan and eating a bunch of chunko is going to do him really good.
Yeah, definitely. So two more good foreigners from Noah, I would say though. And then we had Chihiro Hashimoto and Miyuki Takase defeating Yu and Hibiscus Me in 7:07 with a diving guillotine drop from Takase on Me. Another solid Joshi match. Just wasn't as good as that other one on like the first show, but it was definitely one of the best matches on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I like this one as well. Like I said, you're never gonna get like a match of the year contender on these, but yeah, I agree that this was like the best match. Yeah, I actually kind of really like the main event as well,
Oh
but
yeah,
this was still really good.
yeah. Next up, Alpha Wolf versus Dragon Bane went to a double pinfall in 847. I mean, you've seen this before, and I don't even think this was their best example of them doing their thing.
No,
Just because they usually get more time.
yep, and still continues my continuous complaint with these two, which is, can we just please get a match involving either of these guys that doesn't involve the other guy? Just like once.
Yeah, that's not happening. I don't know.
Like I really enjoy them. I really enjoy them as a team. So I'm perfectly happy with keeping them together as a team. But like when they get a singles match, they can also get singles matches with like other people, unless it's like them not wanting to do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a feeling it might even be them not wanting to do that.
Yeah, that probably is what it is. But then if I'm Noah, I'm like, no, you're facing like you were setting up a title match here. You're facing Alejandro.
Yep, for sure.
But yeah. Otherwise, but it's still like, I mean, look, these two have a really good formula, so it was still fun. It's just a thing that annoys me that it's like whenever they get a singles match, it's only against each other.
And then next up in the main event, we had Kaito Kiyomiya, Ryohei Iwa, and the mystery partner who was Yuma Anzai, beating Jay Clee, Anthony Green, and LJ Cleary in 1734 with a modified Tiger driver from Kiyomiya on Cleary. Honestly, I was somewhat surprised that this was Anzai because there was so much radio silence on the Noah All Japan relationship. But he came out, he got a huge pop.
Mm-hmm.
And this was a really good match.
Yeah, and I believe they have actually been given a name as well. I don't remember what it is actually.
Actually, hold on, I have it here. Yeah, but I'll get to wait. I just see a thing that they put out called Magic Together. But what did they something else?
I think there was like, I mean, maybe that's what it translates to. I did see I only saw the Japanese name, so I don't know what it actually translates to. But I mean, hey, okay. I mean, there's two things I think about putting these three together as a team, right? Or like have like an informal thing for them at least. Like, I think that's really cool for Eva because that obviously shows that like if New Japan obviously okayed that, then they're like, okay, yeah, sure. Like I think that shows that if they want to align with like the guy that is clearly going to be like the ace of All Japan in the future, and the guy that is technically, I guess, supposed to be the ace of Noah, I think that's a good sign for Eva. It's a good sign for Anzai.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about Kiyomiya.
That's the thing. He's palling around with a couple of rookies.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like he's a two-time champion and a two-time like league winner as well.
And he doesn't give off like I'm the leader of this vibes.
No, it's Anzai. That's again, it's this weird dichotomy of like this projection of Kaito Kiyomiya where it's like, no, he's like our young up and comer. It's like he's held your title for over a year.
Yeah.
Like what are we? Why is he associating with two rookies? Like with a guy that is barely more than a year in, and another guy that was like losing to like Yoshinobu Kanemaru in openers like 3 months ago.
It makes no sense, but they got to give him something.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, good for the other two. With Kaito, I'm still kind of at a loss what they're doing with him. I mean, do we actually kind of want to talk about him being in World Tag League as well?
I haven't watched any of the World Tag League. Have you?
I watched the first night.
Okay.
I very much recommend going out of your way to watch Oiwa and Kiyomiya versus Gabe Kidd and Alex Coughlin. Because it has, I mean, I'm sure you remember the G1 match between Kaito and Gabe Kidd.
Yes.
Yeah, they continued that story.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all I'd say. I gave it 4.5 stars.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard a lot of people talking about that match. I'll have to check it out. And that, yeah, but how does like, just where was that show?
That was a Korakuen.
And what did Corkin think of Kiyomiya?
They were excited about that match because like those guys were like aware of the story with like the G1 and everything. So they were very much excited for that match and they were hot for all of it.
That's a good sign for Kiyomiya, I guess.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, it's not like crowds have really like given up on him, as you've seen by like crazy stalkers.
Yes.
Like, invading the ring and encouraging him to finally embrace his destiny. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I still don't think that train has fully left the station, but it is kind of starting to like just. I mean, no, maybe that's not the right rephrasing it. The train hasn't fully derailed yet, but it's starting to come off the rails. Yeah, I think is the better way of phrasing it.
Yeah, that's fair. I would assume, like, okay, so what's your prediction of how far they get?
I don't think they're making it out of the. Do they even have blocks? I don't know.
Yeah,
no, they have blocks. They have blocks. I don't think they're making it out of the block because, like, why would they? Or even with a young boy until like not that long ago. So yeah, I don't like. That's what I mean. Like, I don't really know why they're there. Because at least with the G1 there was like a story here, whereas with this there isn't really. So yeah, I think they're just gonna be like in the middle of the pack, and then who knows what Kaito's doing afterwards. I mean, there are still people that are like, is he gonna jump to New Japan? But I don't know. I still don't really see that happening.
No.
And then he's just kind of back in Noah, lost in the shuffle.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if he were to jump, he'd be firmly behind the Reiwa Three Musketeers.
Yeah. And probably Oiwa when he comes back.
Yep.
So
that's Nakajima.
Yeah. So like that's a lot of guys there already that are gonna be ahead of you.
Yep.
So that makes sense. Also, actually, I mean, talking about him being lost in the shuffle. There's a show we're kind of gonna like just skip over a bit that happened after this one because it was just kind of a house show where nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
But the main event, so actually there is something from that show that I do want to talk about. Just remember it. So there was kind of in the main event of that one. We had Daga, and so we had the Stinger guys against Hayata, Eita, and Kaito Kiyomiya. How much more can you just be lost in the shuffle that you're just like the third, like just the random guy that isn't involved in the feud at all for a bunch of juniors?
Yeah.
Right? Like, even if it is the main event of a house show, but like, you know, like you're just completely irrelevant to the story that is being told in this main event.
Well, compare that to like
compare
that to like a random All Japan house show where Kento's in like the 6-man main event.
Yeah, where Kaito is still going to be the most important part of that like match still.
Yeah.
Whereas Kaito was just like a body in there, and also that show, like that match, also they just did all of the like usual like bullshit in that like Stinger and like that feud has been doing for like forever now. There was even like a fake like disqualification at the start, and then they restarted the match, and yeah, just the exact same trash as always.
Yeah, those Noah house shows do not look appealing.
I mean, there are sometimes they have some nice stuff, but there's never anything on it that is like must see.
Yeah.
What is must see though, I just want to get your opinion on it, is what do you think of Jake's new look?
Milady, how are you?
Okay, thank you. We're exactly aligned of what this looks like.
Yeah, not great.
No.
Say what you will about the Darth Vader look.
That was at least unique. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is unique too, but like at least it was supposed to be threatening. I don't know what this is even supposed to like bring across.
I don't know, but he's gonna get geeked out of his own stable.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that was always gonna happen eventually.
I mean, does he get toast and Jack Morris takes over? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that then the stable name makes a bit more sense as well.
Mhm. So that's Noah, unless you have any other final thoughts.
Uh, Not really. Like I said, they've kind of punted on the rest of the year, so I
Yeah.
think we're gonna obviously cover the Yokohama Budokan show and like stuff they announced for like the Ariake show, but I feel like the Noah section for the rest of the year until then, until the Ariake show is probably gonna be a bit shorter because it just isn't much to talk about. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, maybe just for quick on the Monday Magic, because we've both been enjoying it. So I kind of
Mhm.
looked into the schedule, and there is actually, I think in December, like just before Christmas, there is actually one that they have labeled as final.
Labeled
So I
as
don't know if
Final
that is
Monday
like
Magic.
Monday Magic episode final. Yeah.
Oh,
So I
interesting.
don't know if that was always supposed to be like a limited run series, but yeah, it seems like it's coming to an end sooner rather than later, unfortunately.
I'm getting to get the vibe there's going to be a big reset in the new year.
Yeah, no, that's the feeling I'm getting as well. Well, like, I mean, if you just, like I said, if you just look kind of at the champions right now, right? Like
Mhm.
it's a bunch of like guys that I don't feel like they're obviously going to be important, but like a lot of untested champions as well, where like I feel like it's easy for them to like that might be why they punted on the rest of the year because they're just taking 2 months to kind of just think about their plans. And then they put it on a bunch of guys they have a very easy time to take the titles off of if necessary.
Yeah, although Jack Morris has 2 titles.
Yeah.
So um I don't think I think he's hanging around.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But I feel like he might be losing one of them at some point. Like I
I
don't
just
think they're
get
gonna
the
keep him as a double champion.
For sure. I just get the feeling that Wagner's gone.
Yeah, which is a shame.
Mm-hmm.
But he has been announced for Carrot, so I might
Yeah.
need to see if I can make that trip work in March.
Mm-hmm. And then Paul, you didn't watch the show, but I watched Ultimate Party. I mostly enjoyed Ultimate Party. I'm just looking through here the results. The tag title match was Soma Takao and Shota versus Masahiro Takanashi and Antonio Honda. It went 746, and Takao pinned Honda. It was just like a 2.5 star match. Tag Rumble was won by Yusuke Okada and Yuya Kuroku, um, which was a fine little thing. Uh, Naruki Doi pulled double duty that day and showed up after the All Japan show to be in this.
Oh yeah, he
Um,
was in the opener, right? So he just I
yeah.
was like, why is he in the open? And it made a lot more sense when he like I heard that later. I was like, oh, he went to Ultimate Party. Okay.
So nice to see Okada and Kuroku get something, and they're going to be challenging for the All Asia Tag Titles on December 9th, I think. And I'm looking forward to that match. Tokyo Joshi Pro offer match. Yuki Arai, Moka Miyamoto, and Shino Suzuki defeated Suzume, Arisa Endo, and Wakana Yuhara in 10-10. This was probably one of the best matches on the undercard. Very solid. I haven't been enamored with the booking of Tokyo Joshi Pro this year, but their rookies like Yuhara, and then there's like Toga too. Like they've been very solid, and they got to show off here because I think that's probably the first time a lot of people saw Yuhara and maybe even Shino Suzuki. Um, the special 8-man tag match. Yoshitatsu, Yoshihiko, Danshuko, Dino, and Super Sasadango Machine defeated Shinshiro Takagi, Akito, Makoto Oishi, and Shinshiro Kawamatsu, who's that politician guy. When Machine pinned Takagi. That's exactly how you think it was. Um,
Yeah,
Special
that
singles
sounds
match.
like a lot of comedy in
Yeah.
there.
Tokyo Japan Kuroshio defeated Takashi Misada in 13-14 with a crucifix hold. Jiro did his incredibly long entrance, of course, which was over, no doubt. I mean, this was fine. Masada obviously is like a huge prospect, but this was not the best use of his skills, I think. And then the DDT versus Voodoo Murders, Jun Akiyama, Harashima, and Yukio Naya defeated Jun Saito, Rei Saito, and Toshizo in 10-11 when Naya used a backdrop suplex on Toshizo. This is a fun little brawl. Obviously, this is building to Naya versus Rei Saito. Then the special singles match, Daisuke Sasaki defeated Tetsuya Endo in 1420. This is a Daisuke Sasaki match. But I will say, Paul, did you see the spot from this match with the 450 through a table?
No, actually, I haven't seen that.
So it was a picture perfect. Sasaki was on a table on the outside. Then Tetsuya Endo jumped up on the ropes and then did a beautiful 450 with a perfect landing through the table, and the table broke and everything. It was just a beautiful spot, but that was the best part of this match.
Okay. I mean, fair enough. It's just still, I'm just looking, I haven't seen it, but like, does it make sense for Endo to lose here? Like, it seems like a weird result, but I haven't really been following DDT.
He passed
too
out
much.
in the crossface. And I don't know. I've been spotted with my DDT watching. So I don't know if it made sense. But maybe they want to heat up Sasaki for a title match.
Yeah. It just still feels like Endo's still rebuilding from getting knocked out by Nakajima, but it's been like a year and a half now.
Well, I should also that Jun Akiyama has announced he's leaving Burning.
Oh.
So I don't know it's just bizarre to have that stable without him, though.
Yeah, like it literally doesn't make sense. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on. I don't know. It's interesting. Like, is Akiyama hanging around?
I mean, I feel like Akiyama, like, would he just, so you think he's gonna go elsewhere or become a freelancer? Or like, I don't think he would just retire.
No, but maybe a semi-retirement, like he becomes just a irregular.
Maybe, but like, to me, if I'm like Cyberfight, I'm like, because they just made a boatload of money with like Muto's retirement show. And
that's true.
I think that there is a lot of money. I don't think there's as much money in an Akiyama retirement show as there is in a Muto retirement show, but there's still like good money you can make with that. So like, if I'm Cyberfight, you gotta run. You're not leaving. Yeah,
for an Akiyama retirement show, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can at least get the Budokan. You can at least sell out Budokan for that. And like, if I'm Cyberfight, I'm like, okay, if you want to leave and retire, like, we're putting on a retirement show for you, and we'll make a shitload of money before you leave.
So I don't know what's up with that, though. I haven't heard anything else. The Saki Akai retirement match, Naomichi Marufuji, Kazusada Higuchi, and Miyu Yamashita defeated Saki Akai, Yukio Sakaguchi, and Hideki Okatani in 20 minutes and 3 seconds with a skull kick from Yamashita on Akai. This was a pretty good match, but of course they had to go with the melodramatic ending with Yamashita with tears in her eyes looking at Akai before giving her the skull kick.
Did she say, I don't know, did she say, I'm sorry, I love you?
I was just going to say that too. I do not believe so. And then after very nice retirement ceremony, including a Shinsuke Nakamura message, but they couldn't show it.
They just like cut the feed?
No, they cut away to like the crowd shot or the commentary shot and had other audio, but
so you could still hear that it was Nakamura.
Yeah, but you got Tanahashi, you got Togi Makabe, you had flowers from Takumi Aroha, and oh my goodness, I can't remember the other Joshi wrestler that was with her. And then and that sort of thing, right? So it was very nice. The DDT does his retirement very well, actually.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. And I mean, Saki Akai, like I said, I think she is one of those candidates where it's like she came in really rough and she improved a shit ton.
Yes, definitely.
And I mean, I get that he was in the main event and everything, but it's almost a shame that Brooks couldn't be in this because I think he was really the guy when she started working with him. Where like really, I think it's because they kind of have similar body types. I think because they're both kind of lanky and awkward, right?
Yeah.
So I think that really helped her like find a style that works for her because he probably showed her, it's like, yeah, we probably have kind of like similar issues when we're in the ring, and like she became noticeably better when they worked together.
Yeah. And then for the Iron Man heavy metal title, well, I mean, it was Hiromu Takahashi defeating Kazuki Harada. They had a musical situation death match, a handicap match, a blindfold breast hiding death match, dancing
I'm
death
sorry,
match.
or what?
That was when they had the bikini tops on.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said. Oh, and the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title belt won the Iron Man title.
I
At some
did
point.
see that where like who was it again? Someone snuck into like Hiromu's like hotel room and then had their phone pin the title belt, and then they pinned their phone, and then Hiromu won the title back.
Well, the title won the title during the match.
Oh, okay. But okay, then I guess that happened before then.
Um, uh, this went on for quite some time because they had like the 2-minute matches that they did a spin the wheel gimmick or a digital spin the wheel gimmick, and then they had the match. I don't know. This isn't the type of amount of comedy for me. Is all I can say.
No.
Um, but they got a lot.
It's really been one of my issues with DDT in general recently, where like I don't think a lot of their comedy is like has really landed at all.
Yeah, no, that is an issue. But I mean, it's always a comedy promotion, but I just didn't think this one was.
No, I mean, I like that. That's what I mean. But like, right, it's always been a comedy promotion. And there's been a lot of comedy stuff that I've enjoyed in DDT. I just think like over like the last year or so, I don't think there was particularly a whole lot in DDT that I was like,
Well,
yeah,
I think it's sort of like you sort
funny.
of trying to figure out where it wants to go.
Yeah. I think that really is DDT's biggest problem. Or like, I feel like it feels weird because they're still kind of doing the same thing they were doing before, but it feels a weird way they've lost their identity. I guess it was working better before because they were just kind of this plucky underdog promotion that was succeeding against its like everyone's wildest prediction. But now it's been a few years that they've been owned by like a massive conglomerate, so you can't really you can't really have that identity anymore. So I don't really know what they are now.
Yeah. Well, this show drew 4,785 fans, which for DDT these days, that's pretty good.
Yeah. No, that is really good. Especially if you look at like okay, they brought in Chris Jericho, but like otherwise, other than that, like it's not like they really like loaded up the show with like big draws either.
Well, Saki Akai retirement match.
Yeah. But like, look,
But
I love
otherwise,
her,
yeah.
Saki Akai, but like it's not like she was ever a massive draw.
Yeah. And then what was called the Dramatic Dream match. Chris Jericho defeated Konosuke Takeshita in 23 minutes and 32 seconds with the walls
I think you
of Jim.
skipped over the Mao match.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Well, it was pretty forgettable. Mao defeated Matt Cardona for the Universal title in 1650 using a radio silence with a plastic case. So using Cardona's own move against him to win the title. I mean, I thought Mao looked good here. He tried, but it was just Cardona doing his shtick, yelling at the crowd, Steph DeLander interfering. Like, it was what it was.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm going back to like watch the show, I feel like this is one of those that I feel like I'm gonna be like after the. I have a feeling like
you really, really only need to watch the Akai in the top two.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the Akai retirement match, and then I might be skipping to Jericho Takeshita unless you tell me to skip it, and the main event.
No. Jericho versus Takeshita was awesome. This is Jericho's best singles match in some time. He bumped his ass off for Takeshita too, including taking a blue thunder bomb off the top rope.
Yeah, I did see also him like just getting like the one thing I did see was like him getting like brain bested onto like concrete.
Yeah. So like he was on, he worked hard, the crowd was really into him, and I don't really think it's a big deal that Takeshita lost. He is a heel, and I would assume that Jericho probably put over Takeshita in AEW.
Yeah, and also like it's in Japan. Like I mean, Takeshita and DDT especially.
I mean, DDT
he's
of any
Teflon.
company does not care about their people losing.
Yeah.
Or
And I mean, like I
as
said,
much as
Takeshita and DDT at this point, like he can take losses. It's not gonna damage him.
Yeah, he ran
Like,
through everyone
he's an
else.
all-time legend in that promotion,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
at his age already.
yeah. And yeah, because he was running through everybody else, remember?
Yeah.
When he turned heel. So yeah, no problem with the finish. Definitely worth a watch. And these Jericho haters are in the mud again.
As always. With one, okay, there's one exception I will give them. He was part, like, unfortunately, the only Okada title. I can't even, because it's the only Okada, not the only, but like I won't see any more Okada IWGP heavyweight titles. If I see him, it will be like IWGP World title. But
Right.
so I was at Dominion 2019.
Oh, okay. Yes, that was not
legitimately was not a good. That was not a good match.
No,
that was not a good match. Like the crowd booed when the show ended because they were like, "Wait, that's it." So that was not good. I'm happy that I at least later in the year saw went to Royal Quest and saw Okada versus Suzuki, because otherwise that would have been my only Okada title match.
Yes. And then in the main event for the KOD Openweight title, Yuki Ueno defeated Chris Brooks in 29-39 WR to win the title for the first time. I seen a lot of conversation about this match. I saw a lot of people thought that they spammed moves a little too much. I don't know. I thought this, like, I guess you sort of have to like understand it's a relationship, and like Ueno's trying to surpass his friend. I thought this was really good. I'm not sure I would quite put it in my top 10 match of the year level, but it came close. They worked really well together. There's some big spots, big bumps. I mean, I would put it probably my top 20 matches of the year, though. I really like this.
Okay, yeah, no, that seems like high praise. Okay, then I'll definitely.
I think I'm higher on this, a little higher on this than some. It did feel like a big deal, at least by DDT standards, too.
Yeah,
But
I
I
mean,
feel like-
Ueno always, like Ueno, right? Like for a while now, he's been like touted as the next guy.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of people that watch this show because of Jericho who like watch even less DDT than I do. And by less than I do, it's I watch the big DDT shows like Ultimate Party and oh my goodness, what's the big show every year?
Peter Pan.
Yeah, Peter Pan. And like the KOD finals and stuff like that. But like there's people that maybe watch DDT once every 3 years that parachuted in for this and just hung around to watch the main event. And I can understand maybe it's a little more different than that sort of thing, but I really did like this.
Okay. No. I mean, then I will definitely go and watch this one then.
And another notch in Brooks' belt. I'm not sure. Like, is he an MVP? Not the MVP, but is he in a conversation? A little bit. I would say that in some ways he stabilized DDT.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far, but I think you can make a case for him.
I
mean, he was definitely better. He's definitely better. Like, it made perfect sense when he won the title. Like, and like, it also just wasn't working with Hino.
No.
So yeah, no, I can kind of see where you're coming from with that.
Like I think
for
that
me, it's just match quality isn't necessarily up to the same level as like other guys.
Oh, I thought this was up there. I thought this was one of his best. I mean, I think Brooks' matches against Higuchi and Ueno are two like very high level, like
great. Oh yeah, no, the Higuchi match is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen this one yet. Yeah, maybe I'll have a better idea of it, like when I've actually seen this match as well.
So that's DDT Ultimate Party. I might watch more Dio than I did last year. That's for sure.
I mean, the blocks do look interesting.
Yeah, I want to see Rei Saito versus Yuki Odaya.
Yeah. Kind of very curious how that one will go.
Yeah. And then we move on to All Japan. We got 5 shows to talk about. So we're not going to go through. I didn't watch any non-tournament matches on any of these shows. There wasn't really anything.
There wasn't even that many non-tournament matches anyway.
There really wasn't. And the one I did watch was actually pretty fun. It was on the first show. So the first show was on November 12th at Korakuen Hall in front of 1,320 fans, which that is a pretty good number for an opening night of the Real World Tag League.
Yeah.
For all
No,
Japan.
that's a great number. That's actually better than the two, because New Japan just did the Hurricane double shot to like open their tag league.
Yeah.
And this actually outdrew both of them.
Ah.
Because
Yeah.
they both like broke 1,000 as well. But it was like, I think both were like around like 1,100.
Yep. So that's a good sign for All Japan.
Yeah. No, that's a great sign. Like, that's a great sign. Anytime you can manage to, like, even if it's just in Hurricane, each time you can manage to like outdraw New Japan, I think that's always a very good sign.
Yep, definitely. So we start off with Junior Battle of Glory. Atsuki Oyagi defeating Naruki Doi in 3 minutes and 47 seconds with a Bakatari sliding kick cutback. Paul, this is awesome.
Yeah.
They tried to be the heel, but no. Atsuki counter.
Yeah, he just outfoxed them, yeah.
This is one of the best sprints I've seen all year. I mean, it was less than 4 minutes. And he sent Doi packing off the DDT.
Yeah, Doi literally running out to the taxi. Probably didn't even take a shower to make it to Sumo Hall in time. Or not even a taxi. Wait, no, you can just, I think I'm pretty sure you can just take a straight train from there to, can you? I don't remember off the top of my head, but like, it is actually a relatively straight shot from there to Sumo Hall by train.
Mm-hmm. The next up in the Real World Tag League, we have Jun Saito and Rei Saito defeating Tokyo, Japan, or is it Japan, Tokyo? Kuroshio.
I know.
Seigo Tachibana in 10 minutes and 41 seconds with the psycho break from June on Tachibana. We got the Jiro entrance, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And Tachibana's back to the Yakuza look.
Yeah, I mean, I guess with Honda leaving GOA, I guess GOA in general is just dead now.
Yeah, there was a graduation match.
Yeah, but I thought that was just Honda graduated from GOA.
Oh, okay.
But it seems like all of GOA just graduated.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I think this was sort of better than I thought it was going to be, but at the same time, I think this should have just been a squash.
Yeah, it could have been a little bit shorter than it was, but it was fine for what it was. I think it's the best way of saying it.
Yeah. Because like they should have like come back, bam. Like honestly, I just would have had them take off Tachibana's like head with a big like lariat or doomsday device in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Then next up was a non-tournament match, but I'm just going to mention it because it was Reiki Honda and Yuma Anzai defeating Osama Nishimura and Ryo Inoue in 8 minutes and 48 seconds with the final event from Honda and Inoue. I thought this was a lot of fun, and I thought Nishimura and Anzai's sequences were really good, and I'd like to see them have a match.
Yeah. It really seems like all of the old guys, whenever they come in and have a match with Anzai, they want to have a match with Anzai because they all want to like take a look at this guy that everyone is touting out, like building up as like this like can't miss prospect.
And then Junior Battle of Glory, Fuminori Abe defeated Dan Tammer in 8 minutes and 57 seconds with a referee stop from an octopus hold. Again, very solid work. I thought I enjoyed this, but this is really what the thing is here. And we'll get into this with most of these matches in the Junior Battle of Glory. They are sort of handicapped by the 10-minute time limit.
Yeah.
And you really don't get as good a match as you could have gotten from these guys. So it's like a lot of like 3 1/4 matches and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I really hope that like the juniors can kind of convince whoever is in charge to like spin them back off into their own tournament, like in the summer or whatever.
They got to do that next year.
Yeah.
Then Rising Hayato defeated in the Junior Battle Glory. Rising Hayato defeated Hikaru Sato in 8:45 with the Sid Vicious. Again, very solid. You know, Sato going after the arm and everything like he does. But again, you know, nice little, like, again, you know, what can you say?
Yeah, it was good for what it was.
Yeah.
What could say about all of these?
That's like all those Junior Battle Glory. Now, there's a couple I could flag as different, but that's like case for most of them.
Yeah.
Real World Tag League. Cyrus and the debuting Ryan Davidson defeated Shuji Shikawa and Bren Ayabe in 10 minutes and 14 seconds with a reverse splash from Cyrus on Ayabe. A good debut for Davidson Now he sort of does that spinning splash off the top to the outside on Shuji, but otherwise he looks good. And Paul, I talked to Justin Bissonette, the owner of Inspire AD, the indie out of Austin, Texas, where Davidson's a Texas guy, right? So, according to Biss, he's very high on Ryan, calls him a locker room leader, and thought this was before the tournament started, and because I was away last time, but he was very high on him and had some really good words to say about him. So I think that's a really good sign.
Yeah, no, definitely. It seems like I think All Japan kind of learned their lesson after bringing in what was the shithead's name again from Britain?
Josh Bodum.
Josh Bodum, exactly. Yeah, the fastest comeback and cancellation ever. Yeah, Josh Bodum, like after he like got kicked off from the tour, I think they've been a bit hesitant of like bringing in a lot of foreigners, but like I feel like they really like vet the foreigners that they do bring in, and like character wise.
Someone else, but there's another thing here. You're not getting the Tajiri foreigners.
Yes, that too.
Although Cyrus might have been a Tajiri guy because he was also in Wrestle 1.
Maybe, yeah. Cyrus I could definitely see, but like
Tajiri has
Ryan wasn't. Yeah.
And it's not always great.
No. As much as we like to meme on the Maltese Ricky Dozan, he was not exactly a polished worker, let's put it that way.
Yeah. So yeah, they have like, well, Gresham's a different case because he's not like some unknown quantity.
No.
But I have to say, I really enjoyed Gresham in All Japan.
Yeah, I really hope he's coming back.
Yeah. And so next up, Kazuchika Nakajima and Hokuto Omori defeated Suwama and Hideki Suzuki in 16 minutes and 57 seconds when Omori made Suwama submit to the Narcissist Lock. Now, Paul, this was not a good match. And do you know why it was not a good match?
Why was it not a good match?
Well, because they were doing dueling, can they coexist angles with the tag team partners.
Now, okay, I agree. It was not a great match, but so I kind of didn't watch the show live. I came back to it later. And I saw everyone like shitting on this match like really badly. So I like went in with like super low expectations, and maybe that's why I'm like, it wasn't horrible. Basically, it's my takeaway from it. But it definitely isn't ideal like to like have like two like can they coexist stories. Although what I will say now, with especially with hindsight of kind of where we see both of those stories going, I'm also like a little bit less down on it as well. Because if they kind of had kept it up, right, it's two like can they coexist stories, and that's how they would have stayed, then I definitely I would still be even more like, yeah, that's really bad. But at least like they kind of established it here that like both of these have like teams have problems with each other, but one team is currently actively overcoming it, and for the other team it's only getting worse. So like right where like Nakajima and Omori are
because I was going to say the Nakajima Omori thing is evolving and it's getting better.
Yeah. Whereas the Suwama and Hideki, like the Nakajima Omori team is like leading to them becoming an actual team, whereas the Suwama and Hideki team is like leading towards them having a singles match.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So like in that regard, like it's not as bad as it could have been. But I agree definitely, like in the moment on the first night, having these two facing off against each other with the exact same story is kind of shitty. But I will, like I said, I will like weaken it off a bit with the power of hindsight, being like, well, yes, they did do that, but it makes more sense now because they showed that these two are going in different directions afterwards. So it actually makes logical sense in terms of storyline.
Yep. Okay, I can see that. I just thought it sort of also distracts from Omori getting a submission over Suwama, which was like a big.
Yes, to be fair, that I fully agree on. That's not great. That like you give Omori an actual submission win over like a legend, and it's just kind of forgotten because can they coexist? Yeah, that's not great.
We'll talk about how things are going because there was some advancement, I would say, on today's show. Did you see today's show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I made sure to watch the post match after their match too.
Yeah.
So and then in the main event, Real World Tag League, Hayato Tamura and Galeno Del Mal defeated Kento Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi in 20 minutes and 13 seconds with a lariat from Tamura on Miyahara. A big upset, and this was a lot of fun and a great match. I thought easily the best match on the show, one of the best matches in the tournament. And I thought it did a great job to set out Galeno and Tamura. And Paul, also judging by some of the other results that Tamura's been in, he's got to be challenging for the Triple Crown in January. Because why would
I
you
could
allow
see
him to
that.
do
You're thinking maybe that he's like the January defense, like the New Year's War defense.
So there's so on, I think it's January 27th, All Japan is running that arena that they ran for Kento and Yuma in February again. But they've also got 3 Korikins. So I just think Hayato Tamura is a good Korikin guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy to defend the title, to challenge for the title on the 14th of January.
Or the 3rd.
Yeah, or the 3rd. Any of those work, really.
Just because, like, I think they realize that Kento needs, if you're putting the belt on Kento again, and I think it's pretty obvious that they are, he needs like new faces to face.
Yeah. Unless this is a bit of a longer thing with Nakajima.
Well, we'll see. But
I still wouldn't rule that out. Like him and Omori kind of growing together as a team leads me to believe that maybe he is sticking around for a little bit longer. Because why else kind of give him maybe like a longer tag team partner or not? Well, I mean, we'll see whether this one goes.
Yeah. But I just think that, well, we'll talk about it later, but Hayato Tamura's being sort of like,
I mean, look, Hayato Tamura, I like Hayato Tamura versus Kento Miyahara is a great match, as would be Hayato Tamura versus Katsuhiko Nakajima. So, you know, I think we win either way.
Yeah. So, but that was also a good way to end the turn with a big upset, I think.
That's what you want to do on your tournament. Is like you want to like have like that big upset, especially on like the first night, to like really like get the juices going.
Mm-hmm. Then on the 15th at Tokorozawa Citizen Gym sub arena and 560 fans, Naruki Doi versus Hikaru Sato, or he beat Hikaru Sato in 4:53 with an inside cradle. Again, a perfectly solid match against 2 great veterans. That was less than 5 minutes.
Yep.
Shuji Ishikawa and Ren Ayabe defeated Hayato Tamura and Galeno Del Mal with the running knee lift from Ishikawa on Tamura. This was also, I thought, solid. I gotta say, Ren Ayabe stepping up in this tournament. Do you not think so?
No, that was actually going to be my talking point now as well, because I think he really has been kind of the standout, I would say. Because I would say so. Because I was like, for me, it was like, okay, it's kind of getting to that point where like Ayabe needs to like take that next step, because he had shown flashes of like being talented, and he obviously is like really tall. So he was always going to get chances, but I think he really is kind of stepping up now. Like he really is showing like a lot of attitude here, and he's like really like using his body, like his size a lot more as well, like more effectively now. And yeah, no, he really is like the guy that is like the most like popping off the screen for me so far.
Almost like he's wrestling for a contract.
Yeah, no, that's also my take as well. Yeah, I think we might be seeing. I think I might be seeing him in January in a tracksuit on the 2nd of January.
And then Real World Tag League, Suwama and Hideki Suzuki defeated Japan Tokyo Kuroshio and Seigo Tachibana in 8:47 with a double iron suplex from Suzuki on Tachibana. Of course, you know, I mean, Suzuki and Suwama bickered here, but they managed to beat these guys.
Yeah, I mean, as they should.
Yeah, it was what it was. And then Ryuji Hijikata and Hiroshi Yamato defeated Black Mensaray and Ryu Inoue in 7:25. Fisherman Buster from Hijikata on Mensaray, didn't watch it. And then Real World Tag League, Katsuhiko Nakajima and Hokuto Mori defeated Ryuki Honda and Yuma Anzai in 9:52 with a Northern Lights bomb from Nakajima on Anzai. I would call this an upset. I'm kind of surprised it didn't go longer, but I think that Anzai and Nakajima have great chemistry.
Yeah. And it was also really impressive that he got him up for that as well. But no, I thought this was really impressive. They did kind of still continue like the whole storyline here as well, where like was it this match or the next match when Nakajima got upset with Omori that he was wearing
Ripped
a
off
t-shirt?
his shirt.
Yeah, he ripped off the shirt here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he did
so they
twice in a row and everything.
Yeah. So they were kind of continuing that story, but I think aside from that, it was like a really good match.
Yes. This sort of started the storyline where New Period struggled getting out of the gate. And so I think this is the classic story that they're going to come from behind sort of thing.
Yeah. Because I mean, as we'll get to later, like they are, I think they're starting their comeback now. I feel like if they hadn't won like today, then I think they actually would have been mathematically eliminated. I'm not sure.
Probably not, but it would have been very difficult.
It would have been very difficult. Whereas, I think now they're kind of like gonna go on a run towards the end of the tournament now.
Yeah. And then we had Junior Battle Glory, Dan Tammer versus Rising Hayato beat him in 9:44 with the power bomb. I thought that that was pretty good, actually. Definitely a little better than just them doing their thing. Because it went right to the time limit and everything like that.
Yeah, there was like a lot of urgency, I think, towards the end as well. I actually thought they were gonna go to the time limit, and then I think Dan pretty much like beat him at the last second.
And then in the Junior Battle Glory, Asuki Oyagi went to a draw with Koji Iwamoto for 10 minutes. I thought it's interesting booking because this was like the old ace versus the new ace of the junior division. I thought this was actually pretty good too.
Yeah. No. I feel like they kind of were doing a draw here to maybe like save Hatsuki's first victory over Omoto for like later.
Yeah, for sure. And then Jun Saito and Ray Saito defeated Cyrus and Ryan Davidson in 9:40 with the diving body press from Ray on Davidson. I thought this was shockingly decent.
Yeah, I mean, it was just kind of big men slapping into each other.
That's all I asked for.
Yeah, no, I mean that's really all you want from this. And they also kept it not short, but like I feel like they shouldn't have gone longer than they did. I think they kind of like ended it right when they should have.
Yeah. Then in the main event, Kenta Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi defeated the DDT team of Eruption, Yukio Sakaguchi and Hideki Okatani in 15:46 with a shutdown German suplex hold on Miyahara on Okatani. I did not think this was quite as good as the main event on night one, but this was still a very good match.
Yeah, no, I really like this one as well. I think it was interesting to see like Okatani work with like Miyahara and Aoyagi.
Yeah, he worked well.
Just to kind of see if he can, keep up with that level of guy. So I think he really showed up here. Like he didn't feel like out of place.
He just lacks the charisma that those other guys have.
Yeah. Yes. We'll see if that's a thing maybe he can develop over time, but at least in ring wise, I think if I'm DDT, I'm like, okay, I can see that this guy is gonna be able to like go at the top level at least.
So we move on to night 3 at Nagoya International Conference Hall in front of 733 fans, which is up from their Nagoya stop last year by a couple of hundred, which is a good sign. And also to put things in perspective, Stardom just did 432 fans in the same venue today.
Number 2 promotion in Japan, right?
Maybe Rossi should let whoever's booking All Japan book Stardom.
Yeah, did you see the comment? Okay, I mean, first we had the mistranslated comments where people were like interpreting as Stardom going, we should work like WWE. But what they actually meant were like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be booking like so many tournaments back to back to back. Everyone seems to be getting injured if we do that. So we're kind of going to ease up on our schedule next year. Which, yeah, I mean, fair enough, but also it's the incredibly obvious thing to do when like half your roster is injured.
Yeah. So first match with Ryo Inoue defeating Rising Hayato in 6:54 with a clutch style backdrop hold. I thought this was very good. They actually managed to do a lot in the time allotted, and Inoue looked good, and this is a really big win for him.
Yeah, I think this is actually one of my favorite matches so far in the tournament.
Yeah, definitely one of the best.
Yeah, like it was short, but I think, yeah, as you said, they packed a lot of stuff in here, and it felt like a really big thing for Inoue. Like you could kind of see it on his face as well when he came out. He had that face where, like, like that wrestlers sometimes have, which sometimes can give away the result because they have that look on their face was like this is a really big deal
Boo-boo
for them.
face.
No, rather the opposite of boo-boo face, where it's like they're like, okay, this is my big moment,
right.
basically.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it made sense where he got his big win over Hayato. So yeah, no, good match.
And then next up, we have Yukio Sakaguchi and Hideki Okatana defeating Shuji Ishikawa and Ren Ayabe in 11 minutes and 38 seconds when Okatani pinned Ishikawa with the Quetzal Kotal, which is Saki Akai's finishing move. Very impressive to do it on Ishikawa, although he did get assistance from Sakaguchi, who came and kicked Ishikawa into the move and everything like that.
Also interesting, Ishikawa was the one that took the pin here, but that might be related to Saki Akai. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Suwama and Ishikawa are taking falls in this tournament.
Yeah.
They've both taken multiple.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. But I'm just thinking maybe that specifically Ishikawa losing to Saki Akai's finishing move.
Okay.
Right, because they have a bit of a history as well.
Right.
So I think maybe that's why. But it is definitely interesting that it isn't just Ayabe that is the clear fall guy for this team anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the other message as well.
Yeah, I thought this was solid too.
Yeah.
Then we had a 6-man tag: Katsuhiko Nakajima, Hokuto Omori, and Naoki Tanizaki defeating Tatsu, Kuroshio Tokyo Japan on Black Menso Ray in 12:24 with a vertical spike from Nakajima on Menso Ray. I watched the last minute. It was fun to see Nakajima beat up Menso Ray.
Because you were fast forwarding and you landed in the middle of the finishing sequence.
Yeah, well,
No, it's fair enough. I watched it, but I also don't remember a whole lot of it. But I do remember that the finishing sequence was good.
Real World Tag League: Jun Seto and Rei Seto defeated Hairo Tamura and Galeno Del Mal when Rei used the drill hole pile driver on Galeno. I thought this was not a bad little match. Very impressive to see Rei get that pile driver on him.
Yeah.
Although it looked a little iffy.
Yeah, that was a very fast pile driver, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
He basically put him up and then immediately went down before there was any risk of him losing it.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of surprised that was the finish as well because the pile driver came so quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fine. The Saitos, they're not horrible, but they also need talent to get the best out of them. A high level of talent to get the best out of them.
Like Kento and Yuma.
Yeah. So we go, and then Junior Battle of Glory, Dan Tamura defeated Atsuki Aoyagi in 8:58 with the power bomb, giving Dan a little bit of a push here. I thought this was another pretty solid match, but I didn't think it was the best of the tournament.
No. And I also still think that Dan is moving up to heavyweight next year.
It's very possible. And then the Real World Tag League, Cyrus and Ryan Davidson beat Suwama and Hideki Suzuki in 9 minutes and 34 seconds with a reverse blast from Cyrus on Suzuki. That's a hilarious result. It was also hilarious watching Suzuki and Cyrus interact. I probably enjoyed this match more than many because it's so silly.
I mean, like I said, Suzuki can actually be really good at this kind of stuff. I don't think he gets a lot of credit for that.
Yeah. I thought,
people say Hideki Suzuki never put anyone over. He put over Cyrus.
I thought Davidson actually worked pretty well with Hideki too. So yeah, it was pretty solid. And of course, continues the story.
Of
And then in
Suwama
the
and
real world,
Hideki not getting.
and then the real world tag league, Kento Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi went to a draw with Ryuki Honda and Yuma Anzai in 30 minutes. Again, this is their third 30-minute draw in the last couple of
Yep.
months. Another incredible match.
Yeah.
I would say probably the best match of the tournament so far.
Yeah, I would say so as well. And it's a very clear story. Like there has to be something behind them.
Yeah.
Going to draws constantly, like that can't be an accident. So like I was actually thinking that maybe they went, because after they went to 2 draws, I was like, okay, like maybe that's gonna lead to like something in the real world tag league. But the fact that they're still doing draws, like, I mean, it has to be like leading to like a title match eventually, right? Like when either of these teams,
they could do a decision match on the final night too.
That could also be the thing. Yeah, actually, maybe that's the thing where like they finally like Honda and Anzai overcome Kento and Yuma.
Then we move
that
on
could totally be a thing.
Yeah. Then we move on to November 21st at Shinkiba first ring in front of 335 fans, a super no vacancy full house.
Mm-hmm.
First off, Ryo Inoue versus Naruki Doi, 10-minute time limit draw. I actually did like this because this is all about Inoue, like sort of surviving Doi type thing. I thought he did very well.
Yeah, no, I really love that as well because Doi basically just got increasingly desperate. It's just kind of throwing everything like just short of like using the muscle bomb, and Inoue is still kind of like barely getting away with it. But I think it showed resilience to like get a win, not a win, but like get a draw over like a legend like Naruki Doi.
Then Fuminori Abe versus Koji Iwamoto in a 10-minute time limit draw of the Sportiva alumni. This is again also very solid and very good. I thought up there probably on the better half of the tournament matches.
Mm-hmm.
And
these two, I just love their history as well. Like,
can you think of the last? Okay, and then Dan Tamura versus Kasada was another time limit draw.
This really got absurd. This was like where I was thinking, okay, is this like a excuse they're going to use like in the future where like they're going to do a storyline where the juniors are going to like saying that like we're going to go get our own tournament again because for sake of like getting these like 10 limit draws, we want like more time.
Yeah. I actually really like this match. It was all grappling.
Yeah.
And Dan is grappler of the year in my books.
Oh, really?
Because of that and that Shinya Aoki match.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, you know what I'm actually thinking? Why I'm thinking he's like moving up to heavyweight? Because they've kind of been teasing kind of the tension between him and Suwama again as well, right?
Yeah.
So wouldn't it make sense if he moves up to heavyweight and starts teaming with Hideki?
Ooh, that's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one, actually.
That's a really good grappler team right there.
Yep. And then Rising Hatter defeated Atsuki Aoyagi in 9 minutes and 26 seconds with an avalanche-style Frankenstein cutback cradle. It was a good-looking finish. But I don't know. I just thought that this match sort of ended when they were starting to get cooking. Definitely not one of their best matches.
No, I mean, yeah, these two have amazing chemistry, but yeah, I mean, as we've been saying, like for this entire time, like this is just really held back by these matches being so short.
Yeah.
Like give this like another 5 minutes and you probably have like at least a 4-star match right there.
Yeah, for sure. And then we're on to the Real World Tag League. Katsuhiko Nakajima and Hokuto Omori defeated Cyrus and Ryan Davidson in 10:46 with a Northern Lights bomb from Nakajima on Davidson. So this is another match Nakajima was slightly more amenable to Omori. He's not like throwing him out of the ring anymore. But I think he ripped his shirt again in this one. And
yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I thought that Davidson and Nakajima actually worked well together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Davidson was also like willing to take a lot of like Nakajima stuff.
Yeah, he was. And then Yuma Aoyagi and Kento Miyahara defeated Shuji Ishikawa and Ren Ayabe in 11:20 with a small package hold. from Aoyagi on Ayabe because Ayabe probably went up for the Falcon Arrow. Very solid. These guys could probably have a killer 20-minute match though.
Yeah. I think I actually like this one probably even a bit more than you.
Yeah.
Because I thought this was again one of those matches where like Ayabe really stood out for me.
He did really look good here. Yeah.
Yeah, like he really like laid it in on like Kento and Yuma. And especially I think also in the post match he really kind of stood out as well. But I can't like basically like Yuma just barely wins. He's kind of like dead in the ring basically. Ayabe is like mad that he just got caught in the small package where like Kento's goofing off on the outside, and he's like coming in the ring, kind of squaring off with Ayabe, and Ayabe just decks him.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
And then Jun Seto and Rei Seto defeated Yukio Sakaguchi and Hideki Okatani in 10 minutes and 26 seconds. The Psycho Break from Jun on Okatani, your Battle of the World Tag versus the All Asia Tag Team Champions. I actually thought this was actually pretty solid. One of the better Seto matches of the tournament because I think Sakaguchi and Okatani are so good.
Yeah, no, they also sold their asses off here for the site too.
Yeah. Hayato Tamura and Galeno Del Mal defeated Suwama and Hideki Suzuki in 16:45 when Tamura used a lariat on Suwama for the win. That's a big win. 2 big wins during this tournament so far for Tamura. I actually thought this was one of the better Suwama and Hideki matches because I think they gelled well with their opponents.
Yeah. And Tamura getting his win back from the Royal Road.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Forgot about that. But I still think that, I mean, I don't know. You give him wins over Kento and Suwama.
Oh no. It is still a big sign. Yeah, no. Like I'm not disputing that. I think that's still like that they're clearly like building him up. They're doing a better job of building him up for a title match than Glee ever did. Let's put it that way.
I would agree with that. Then in the main event, Tokyo, Japan, Kuroshio, and Seigo Tachibana defeated Ryuki Honda and Yuma Anzai in 1859 with the Yankee Hammer from Tachibana and Honda. I think the Yankee Hammer is actually a really cool move. Yeah. It's like a running axe bomber, but the guy is sort of like leaned over, so you just like impact right on like the back of his neck.
No, it is a really cool looking. Like Tachibana is good. It's just...
I think Tachibana is underrated. He's a very good worker. So, I mean, I thought this was very good. I suppose it was sort of held back because, they wanted to do the comedy and everything like that. But I mean, definitely Kuroshio and Tachibana's best match of the tournament.
Definitely for sure. But I feel like it's impressive that like I feel like the entrance is getting longer and longer on every show.
I watched the first one. And on any of the shows I don't watch live, I just fast forward through.
Fair enough. No, but on this one it felt because like Jiro literally went backstage and then came back out and they restarted his music.
I didn't see that now.
Yeah, so like it went on. Like I think like sometimes I have a feeling like I feel on some of these shows the entrance has been longer than the actual match.
Mm-hmm. And then we go
not on this one, but still, yeah,
to today's show in Kiramese Numazu in front of 590 fans. I will say this is definitely drawing well. And Paul, the next show on the 26th is at the famed vegetable market.
Hell yeah!
From last year, and it's already sold out.
The vegetable market is a draw.
The vegetable market is a draw.
I mean, look, where else can you buy a bunch of potatoes and then go and watch Kento Miyahara?
Unfortunately, the vegetable show is VOD. Which is a shame because it would start at a decent hour for me to watch it, but it is not to be.
I mean, but at least All Japan puts up their VOD shows like in decent time.
They're getting a little better, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Noah took forever to put up the VOD for some of their shows.
All of their VODs are like 2 to 3 days.
They're not even changing anything either. Like that's the weird part.
No, All Japan inserts like backstage interviews.
Yeah, they just cut out the stuff in between the matches, which makes them really jarring to watch because like the match ends and then there's just a cut to like the next match starting. It's very weird.
So, Junior Battle Gory, Atsuki Aoyagi defeated Ryo Inoue in 809 with a Firebird Splash. Again, I don't know. I just felt like there was some good stuff here, but like again, it just never got cooking.
Yeah, no, never really got out of second gear, I feel.
Yeah. And then Hikaru Sato versus Koji Iwamoto in 849 with the Wakata Gatame. I mean, I thought it was solid. These guys, like you could work a match like with these guys' styles that is a little more, I don't know, fulfilling in 9 minutes than a traditional junior match type thing.
Yeah, the most interesting thing here is that Iwamoto hasn't gotten a win yet. Like he's had 2 draws and now he's lost to Sato, so I'm wondering if maybe he's going to do like a come from behind thing as well in this tournament, but I don't even know if there's enough time. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's only his 3rd match, and you have 7 matches, so he could get 4 more. Yeah, I don't know. And then Fuminori Abe defeated Rising Hayato in 8 minutes and 6 seconds with an inside cradle. I thought this was pretty good.
This was definitely one of the better ones.
Abe knows how to do sprints.
Yeah.
This guy can work a 10-minute match. I would just like to see like Abe go out there and work the best match you can in 10 minutes, and I think it would be incredible.
Oh, no, for sure. Abe is like a guy that knows how to like perfectly make use of time, and I really love the finish on this as well, where Abe like got Hayato in the cradle, and then he like rolled outside of the ring all the way like into the crowd.
Yeah. Then there was Cyrus, Ryan Davidson, Hiroshi Yamato versus Takawa Mori, Dan Tamura, and Black Mansoray. I did not watch this, except that after the match, Cyrus was carrying Mansoray over his shoulder to the back.
Yeah, they actually had some like interactions during the match as well.
Yeah. Suwama and Hideki Suzuki defeated Yukio Sakaguchi and Hideki Okatani in 11:03 with the Manriki sleeper from Suwama and Sakaguchi, which was somewhat surprising. I thought Okatani was the fall guy, but I guess Sakaguchi's not really protected as much as he used to be.
Yeah, he's also sneakily old. Sakaguchi.
Oh, he's 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's older than Suwama.
Yeah. I thought this was another pretty good match, and I think this was more like what I was expecting from Suwama and Hideki versus what we've sort of got.
What we've been getting, yeah. Although there was still like a lot of miscommunication.
Yeah, for sure.
In this match still between them.
But I think this was a good team for these 2 guys.
Yeah.
Then Ryuki Honda and Yuma Anzai defeated Shuji Ishikawa and Ren Ayabe in 13:34 with a German suplex hold from Anzai and Ishikawa. Again, Ishikawa and Ayabe might sort of be the unsung heroes of this tournament because they're going to face everyone. I don't think they're really in contention, but they're having like good, solid matches every night out.
Yeah, for sure. And as I was like mentioning earlier, like Ayabe is like really starting to like use his height a lot more effectively. Like the one I really remember from this one is when Ren had Anzai in the what's it called again? The Master Lock.
Yeah.
In the full Nelson. And like Anzai's feet, like he's like really holding him up. Like Anzai's feet are like dangling. And Anzai is not a small guy. Like he's really tall too. Yeah. It's just that Ren is just that much taller than anyone else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Ren is like legit. Like I think he was a basketball player as well.
I believe.
Again, that's the size he has as well. Like so, him just kind of like effortlessly, kind of like just holding Anzai there while his feet are dangling in the air is like really impressive.
Well, it's funny you say that because basketball players haven't always been the best pro wrestlers compared to other athletes, right?
That's true.
So we'll see.
Well, it's a non-physical sport, which is noticeable when you go into a very physical sport afterwards.
But yes, that was another great.
Not non-physical, but like no contact.
Yeah, no contact.
Yeah.
From Ishikawa and Ayabe, and so I assume this is where Honda and Anzai begin their rise. Then we had Kento Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi defeating Tokyo Japan, Kuroshio, and Seigo Tachibana in 13 minutes and 7 seconds with the Fool from Aoyagi on Tachibana. Yuma had a blue jacket on in a tie this entire match.
I mean, this was basically a comedy match.
Yes, but it was actually pretty good. All in all.
This is what I mean, where like DDT used to have these kind of matches that are comedy matches, but they're funny and they're also good matches.
But now DDT is okay. We have our good matches that are straight laced, and then our comedy matches are horrid.
Yeah. Whereas this was a good match and a comedy match, and like Yuma like just coming out in the blue jacket and like doing like dueling like jacket punch spots with Jiro.
Yeah. This was probably the peak of this is probably the best comedy of the tournament.
Yeah. It is probably going to be like the best match for like Jiro and Tachibana.
I kind of like the match against New Period a little better, but this was fun.
Yeah, no, this was definitely a lot of fun. Yeah, like there, and I mean, like okay, in a weird way, like this also had like just an absurd amount of this miscommunication spots as well, but it was kind of everyone having miscommunication spots with literally everyone else, like partners and opponents included, and they were intent like. Yeah, it's hard to like describe it, but it was like pretty fun.
Yeah. And then in the main event, Katsuhiko Nakajima and Hokuto Omori defeated Jun Saito and Rei Saito in 1803 with the Northern Lights bomb from Nakajima on Rei. This is the first loss of the Saitos of the tournament because they had to lose at this point. Otherwise, a runaway thing because they would have gone... because that would have been their fifth match, so they would have gone over 500 for the whole tournament automatically. So I thought so first of all, Hokuto took his shirt off before the match started. And it seemed like that him and Nakajima are starting to gel a lot more. So that was some of the story of the match.
Yeah.
I thought this started off well. I thought there was a somewhat boring period stretch in the middle of this when the Saitos were working them over. And then I thought the last few minutes were actually really great with Nakajima and Rei. Nakajima really knows how to work with larger opponents.
Yes.
Especially when he's on the offense. So I thought that this was a pretty good match. It was an interesting choice of the main event, but I guess that it was okay. The Saitos' first big loss of the tournament, and then Nakajima and Hokuto have turned a corner in their relationship.
And also, just like earlier, where like the pile driver on Galeno came really fast. Similar here, the Northern Lights bomb from Nakajima on Rei was like one smooth motion.
Yeah, but it looked good. It looked good.
It did look good. It did look good. It's just noticeable where like against like Yuma, where he was like holding it and then hitting it. Whereas here he kind of just, like I said, it was just one smooth motion. But I mean, fair enough. I also don't want to hold up Rei Saito for like a long time. But him like using the cocky pin again, like was also pretty great.
So that is
But I agree in general that like they probably could have cut a little bit of time out of this.
Yes, they could.
But other than that, I thought like the finish was really fun. And again, like in the post match, they really kind of showed that like Nakajima and Omori are starting to like really overcome their issues.
Yeah. Which I assume was just going to be like him shaking his hand after the tournament, not necessarily that we're going to become a long-term tag team, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I'm probably still leaning towards Nakajima's like losing to Kento and then he's going to New Japan. But I'm still like, at least there's like a little bit of doubt in me now.
So after 5 shows, which is like half of the tournament, we have Katsuhiko Nakajima and Hokuto Omori at 8 points, Jun Saito and Rei Saito at 8 points, Kento Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi at 7 points, Cyrus and Ryan Davidson at 4, Hayato Tamura and Galeno Del Mel at 4, Suwama and Hideki Suzuki at 4, Ryuki Honda and Yuma Anzai at 3, and then all at 2 points, Shuji Chikawa and Ren Ayabe, Yukio Sakaguchi and Hideki Okatani, which is somewhat surprising to me.
Yeah.
Because the outsiders, they give some points, especially early on. And Tokyo, Japan, Kuroshio, and Seigo Tachibana at 2 points, and I expect them to finish at the bottom.
Yes, no, I think I'm actually I actually would have expected them to potentially go winless. But yeah, I don't feel like they're gonna get much more than these 2 points that they've gotten so far.
And
Maybe
then
they'll get to 4.
the next show on the 26th is the Vegetable Market Show, which is I think Suwama's hometown, which is why.
Yeah, there's definitely it's definitely someone's hometown. I do remember that.
Well, the main event is Suwama and Hideki versus the Saitos.
Oh yeah, no, then it is him. Yeah.
Yeah, which I mean, that could be good, but like I'm just don't know how much like angle they're gonna do. But I'm excited to see the Saitos interact with Hideki.
Yes, no, that especially in that venue, like it's definitely gonna be over as well. For the tournament itself, who do you think is actually like winning?
I think New Period.
You still think they're winning? I mean, I think so too. It's just they're gonna have, like, for example, like now that Omori and Nakajima have actually overcome the issues, they actually have to start losing now.
Yes, they do. Well, who are they facing on? Oh, they're facing Tachibana and Jiro.
Oh.
I could see
maybe they are actually getting to 4 points. Yeah.
I could see them lose to that or something, but we'll see. So Paul, your overall thoughts on the tournaments so far?
Okay, the Junior Battle of Glory, I think we've covered extensively what our issues with that tournament are. I mean, it's not bad. It's just, it's held back by the 10-minute time limit. But I really like what I've seen from the Real World Tag League so far. Like, I haven't seen nothing like that will make my match of the year list yet, but like I don't think there's anyone that is really like no team that is dragging the tournament down.
No, there's not. I mean,
like
the comedy can be annoying, and
but like otherwise, like we've definitely otherwise always had like a team that was like kind of a stinker, and we don't think we really have that this year. And like for me, like they've always done well to like really like climax the tournament in a great way. So like I think the fact that we're already off to like a really good start just makes me very positive of where we're going to end up as well, because they just really do a good job of actually peaking these tournaments at the right time as well.
Now, Paul, do you think that we're going to get towards the end of the tournament a bunch of double ring outs and stuff like that?
I mean, maybe if I'm looking, like if we want to get New Period to win, then we have to get some creative math here at some point.
Just they've done that the last couple years in the Real World Tag League.
I mean, maybe that's actually how like Jiro and Tachibana versus Nakajima and Omori is gonna end.
I mean, that's very possible too. I mean, I don't think, but we'll see. But I mean, if there's not any double ring outs, or maybe just one in this tournament, then definitely like a sort of philosophical booking thing from a certain someone that's no longer in the company.
That's also true.
Because I think Tajiri was definitely some guy that would be more apt to book that sort of thing to get around stuff.
But then again, we've also just had 3 consecutive Junior Battle of Glory time limit draws on one show.
Yeah. I still don't even think that's as egregious as double ring outs, but that's just me.
Yeah. But I definitely could see like there at least being like some. I think these also have time limits, right? But obviously we already had 30. A 30-minute time limit draw.
30,
but maybe we'll see more of those as well to kind of even out the points, because otherwise, like I said, we already have 2 teams at 8 points, 1 team at 7 points. Mm-hmm. And I don't think any of these 3 teams are winning. So someone has to be able to catch up to them.
Yeah, well, it's going to be New Period.
Yeah.
And the Saitos will still be in play. And then Omori and Nakajima face Kento and Yuma on the final night.
Yep.
So that's got to be sort of also a thing. So
I feel like also with the way the points have gone down so far, I feel like that's actually going to be Kento and Yuma eliminating Nakajima and Omori rather than the other way around.
That's very possible. I think so too. So, yeah, I mean, it's still very open. I mean, I think there's some, likely scenarios, but I mean, I'm still confident in New Period winning it all. I think that's something you got to do.
Yeah, no, it does feel like a very logical outcome.
It's just a waste to have Kento and Yuma win again, especially when you're taking Kento right into a Triple Crown match a couple of weeks later.
Yeah. No. Like, that would just be very uncreative. Like, and again, Suwama and Hideki not overcoming their issues as well. Like, is that one we like? Because otherwise, I would have said maybe they would make sense, but I don't think that makes sense right now.
You know how I was saying they have that large arena that they're booking again in late January?
Yeah.
Is it Hideki's beating Suwama and then
he could challenge there?
Yeah, in that arena.
I mean, maybe. I mean, as he was saying, like we need, like if Kento is winning the title, then he needs a bunch of new challengers. So
yeah,
so people like Tamara,
like Hide of Tamara is a
Korakuen.
Oh,
yeah, true.
But that other arena is a little bigger. I think it's like over 2,000.
And I mean, Noah did draw well when they had Kaito versus Hideki in the Dolphins arena.
And I think that Hideki's Pound of Flesh is probably getting a big singles win before
he loses yeah. I mean, fair enough. And I mean that then you feed him Suwama, which who
is
cares?
Fine.
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say that Suwama and Shuji are definitely.
Yeah, I know. Like it's very obvious now in this tournament that both of them are kind of down cycling now. I mean, Shuji we have been for a while, but I think it's obvious that Suwama is as well.
Yeah. Definitely. So yeah, I mean, just from a bell to bell, top to bottom of the card, this is definitely a very good real world tag league, the best in a few years at least, because there's been some pretty interesting teams, I shall say, in some of the past couple of years during the pandemic and everything. I mean, remember Tajiri and Masato Tanaka?
Remember Tajiri and Kai?
Yes. Oh my goodness. They did double ring outs.
Still the funniest thing. I mean, if we're trying to talk about comedy, All Japan has never done anything funnier than Violent Giants versus Tajiri and Kai on the final night of the Real World Tag League, with Tajiri and Kai coming out in clown makeup.
Yes. And
Suwama just beating the shit out of Tajiri and pinning him in 3 minutes.
This is what we've lost.
Yeah. Bring him back. Please don't.
All right.
Oh my God, is Jake gonna go to Kyushu Pro?
Oh, you know what we forgot to talk about? Jake and Anxiety's stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh, do you think it means anything?
No, I think that was just Jake being like, yeah, you took over, like you're gonna take over my position in a promotion or some bullshit like that. So I think that's more
Jake beginning to realize the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, obvious. I think that's probably obvious to him, but I don't think he's coming back because I don't think All Japan wants him back.
Do you think All Japan would use him in a limited fashion?
Oh, he's not coming back as a regular?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. As like a one-off like guy that like comes in and he puts over Anzai and then he leaves again. Sure, I'm not against that.
Mm-hmm. I'm very curious what's going to be happening to Jake Lee in 2023.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I'm still not 100% that he's going to stay in Noah, but I'm like, well, where is he going to go though? That's the other thing. Yeah. Because I don't think he's coming back to All Japan permanently. And I mean, again, one of the reasons why you wanted to leave All Japan, like, I don't know if anything ever happened with that, but like, right, the reports were like one of the reasons why he was leaving was because All Japan didn't have like the support systems he needed to get Japanese citizenship because of while he is
Yeah.
I would say that he is Japanese, right? Like he's
Right.
born there, he grew up there and all of that, but Japanese like treatment of like Zainichi Koreans is dog shit,
Yeah.
quite frankly. So he doesn't actually have Japanese citizenship, and All Japan didn't have like the means to kind of support him enough in the process. And that's one of the reasons why he wanted to go to a bigger promotion like Noah that has like the means to probably like have an easier time getting citizenship. And I don't know if he's gotten it yet or not, but I feel like until he gets that, I think he's probably wants to. If Noah allows him, then he wants to probably stick around there until he can get that citizenship.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just don't know how they'll use him.
Yeah. That's the thing where I'm like I said, to me, he was kind of the patsy that was brought in to like basically cover up some of the warts, basically. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're not against just using him as like an upper mid card gatekeeper, which is what he was trending towards in All Japan already anyway.
Yeah. Definitely. All right. So I think at this point, should we come back before the Real World Tag League is over, or
When
well, it's the 6th.
the 6th. Yeah, I think let's come back on the 6th because yeah, after that it actually gets a little bit more complicated for me. So let's go on the 6th so we can
Oh,
definitely
that's right.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So just production meeting on air, and I'm not even sure Noah has anything of when is that Yokohama Budokan show?
I think that might be just after. I think that's on the 11th or 10th. I don't know. I don't remember.
Oh,
I
it's
think it
December
might be the
2nd.
weekend after. Oh, December 2nd. Okay, then it's definitely before then. So we can talk about it then as well. So
Oh,
yeah,
and
6th works perfectly. Yeah.
24th is Daga, or November 24th is Daga versus Shuji Kondo.
Sure.
So I'll watch that. I'll watch that.
I mean, so you mean tomorrow?
Yeah.
Spoiler when we're recording this. Well, I mean, to be fair, we already said we watched today's show on the 23rd and we didn't talk about the Daga show. So yeah, that already gave it away.
Yeah, it's a Cork and Hall show. So
yeah. Oh, I'm curious about that number.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see what's on the card. Let's take a look.
Not a lot.
We've got Daga versus Shuji Kondo. Oh, the tag title match. Jack Morris and Anthony Green versus Masa Kitami and Daiki Inaba. I forgot about this show. It just totally,
I actually did as well. I thought that was all on Budokan.
Yeah. Keno, here to Dr. Wagner Jr. and Stallion Rogers versus Manabu Soya, Kaito Kiyomiya, and Ryohei Oiwa. So you can figure out who's taking the fall there.
Kaito Kiyomiya.
They have updated Jake Lee's picture.
Oh no.
You know what it is?
Is it him wearing the hat?
Yes. We got Jake Lee, LJ Cleary, Yohei and Tadasuke versus Naomichi Marufuji, Titus Alexander, and Sushi Katoge and Hiroki. That could actually be pretty good. Hayata and Eita versus Leona and Kai Fujimura.
Sure.
Takashi Sugera, Go Shiozaki, and Kazuyuki Fujita versus Saxon Huxley, Timothy Thatcher, and Shuhei Taniguchi. Didn't realize Thatcher was still around.
Yeah, I thought he had gone back to the US. Or maybe he's back now. I mean, hey, Chris Hero's back. He can come back to Noah too.
Ah, yes, that's right. Go Shiozaki. Go feels like an afterthought now.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Nakajima leaving kind of like derailed all of the plans they probably had for him. But
that's true too. It just feels like they gave him I feels like they gave him the N1 just because he deserved a tournament.
Yeah, because he's never won it, and I think it also kind of was like him then losing to Jake. I think was kind of.
But I don't feel like I don't know if they're concerned about investing any more in him.
Yes, I feel like they're kind of like, we're not gonna push you anymore because your body doesn't hold up, or maybe he doesn't even want to be pushed.
Yeah, they might have to. You never know. Yeah. Dragon Bane, Alpha Wolf, Extreme Tiger, and Super Crazy versus Ninja Mac, Alejandro Teriyaki, and Hajime Ohara.
I see we're building up Ohara for his title match. Not at all.
and Junta Miyawaki versus Taishi Ozawa. Paul, did Junta win that match?
I mean, if he doesn't, then he's in really big trouble.
Noah is very, very slow on their
Yeah.
posting of young guys. So no, Junta's winning that match.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so does
there's
that
a-
mean the only thing we have for Budokan then are like this, like Soya and Keno teaming with the old guys against each other, and then O'Hara versus Morris?
let me see here. We got Jack Morris, Hao O'Hara, Wagner, Kiyomiya, Oiwa, Hacks versus Huxley, Thatcher, and Taniguchi. That could be fun. Leon and Kai Fujimura versus Taishi Ozawa and Yu Owada. Yeah, and Keno and Jinsei Shinzaki versus Manabu Soya and Tatsumi Fujinami. That's all so far. I was gonna say that, because we were talking about Ozawa. There's a pretty good case to make that you should just push Ozawa hard now.
Yeah.
And have him skip his rookie thing.
Yeah. I think Anzai has shown that works. And Noah needs it.
Well, yeah,
really
it's more like
bad.
a question of necessity. I don't think he's
Yeah.
as good as Anzai,
As Anzai,
where
no.
Anzai was at that a few months in, but like you got to do it.
But yeah, I think his athleticism alone is like a thing where like, no, you like just push this guy. Like times are bad. You need someone.
Yeah, there's really no other choice.
Maybe it doesn't work, but you know what? Fuck it, just try it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to do any more damage.
No.
Well, maybe to him, but not to the company. Maybe Ozawa long-term prospects, but not necessarily.
Yeah, like I'm really curious what that Kurikan does tomorrow, because that could be a really rough number.
Yeah. All right, so that's that, and we will see you after the Real World Tag League is over to talk about that show. So for Paul, I'm Gerard, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor,
And I'm Kelly.
and we are the co-hosts of Jumping Bomb Audio, the podcast all about Joshi Pro Wrestling here on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. Every other Monday, we are with you talking about the biggest news in Joshi, along with show reviews, previews, and much, much more.
So if you're new to Joshi or you've been a longtime fan, this is the show for you. We've got something for everyone here. So check us out, Jumping Bomb Audio.